This is the Bolder Than Most podcast, where we talk with those making bold moves in business, real estate, and life. I'm your host, Trae Jacobs. Thank you for being here. Let's jump right in. All right. Welcome back to the Bolder Than Most podcast. My name is Trae Jacobs. I am the host, and I'm actually running this podcast today solo. Just got back this morning, actually, from Raisefest 24. If you're not familiar with that, that is Hunter Thompson of Raisefest, his annual conference. This year it was out in Phoenix at the Arizona Grand Resort and Spa. Instead of bringing on a guest today, because honestly, I just didn't have the time, was gone for about 6 days. I just wanted to kind of share my experience and how Raisefest was, what I can remember, and what I plan to do next. So, honestly, Raisefest was my first conference in quite a while. If I'm being completely real with you guys, I had a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of stress before the event, just because I felt like I was out of practice. It's been a while. I haven't been in a room of, people of this caliber in quite some time. So I did think I had some dust I needed to shake off, but luckily I think it went pretty well. Honestly, just being in that space was good for my confidence, my self-confidence. That's weird to say, being in another space, being good for your self-confidence, but somehow it was. So if you don't know Hunter Thompson, the guy's a boss. I mean, his events are great. He puts out really great content. He has a fun to fun course that's free. If you haven't taken it, I highly suggest it. There's a lot of great information in there. He shared a little bit of his background. I did not know that when he was younger, he was a ballet dancer. He showed pictures and everything. And then he went into like a rock band, which it's just really funny to me, that transition. And then he kind of finished off with doing the DJ thing. So, having been a DJ, the music was on point. They had massive speakers for, probably could have filled up a conference room twice as big as what we had, so you could really feel the bass. That was kind of cool. I did enjoy that. I also got the chance to meet a lot of people in what we're calling the summit. Basically, it's just a group of like-minded people. We've kind of come together. We're definitely on the same trajectory. We're all very motivated, all very driven, and we're just kind of working together as a collective. So if you take anything away from this episode, it's to find your group of people, align with them, and go, right? You're going to go so much farther if you're working with somebody. Now, I'm not saying you have to actually partner with them. In fact, I actually recommend against it. Partnerships are serious. They take time. You need to, fill each other out. I see so many partnerships ending badly, but working together alongside each other to help each other meet and reach certain goals, that's powerful. So shout out to the summit. I enjoyed my time with you guys. Can't wait to see you guys up at Peak next. Real quick, guys, if you're enjoying the show and want to help us grow, share, shoot us a 5-star rating, and follow the show on Apple or Spotify. My goal is to continue to grow and get bigger and bigger guests on the show, to reach more like-minded real estate investors and help everyone be more bold and build more wealth. Now, back to the show. Another good thing about Hunter Thompson's event was the fact that there was new people, but there were some really, really experienced people. I was having conversations with folks who raised no money, who've raised 5 million, who've raised 20 million and more. So, being able to rub shoulders with that, that type of people was pretty powerful, right? Like, I raised a little bit of money myself, so I was able to share some knowledge while also absorbing some knowledge from others. All right, so let's get into day one. So day one was cool. Unfortunately, I lost all of my notes, so everything that I'm giving you is really just from memory, and I don't have a great memory. But I will say, the two speakers that really, really resonated with me the most was Bob Fraser and Neil Bawa. They had so much data about what's going on in the multifamily industry right now. What I took away from that was, the way I'm looking at things may not be the right way to look at things. I can't really sum up all that data because I'll probably get so much of it wrong. But Bob Fraser, Neil Bawa, find those guys, look at some of their things, and maybe you might be looking at the state of our industry a little bit differently as well. I will say that Neil, he did break it down, right? Like we all think that there is way more distress in the market than there actually is. If the multifamily space has a $9 trillion cap, what's in distress is around 90 billion. So when you look at it from that light, you know, it's a drop in the bucket, right? And a lot of the properties under distress currently are syndicators, right? So a lot of us are really close to that specific space. So that's probably what we're seeing the most. If properties were bought pre 2019, there's probably a lot of equity already built in. If they did have to sell, their investors, they're not going to be zeroed out. Maybe they won't reach their projected returns, but there will be some sort of return. So, there will be blood on the street, but maybe not as much as we think there will be. Now, Hunter also did a couple of keynotes sessions on day one. Without my notes, I can't remember exactly what they were about, but he did speak all throughout the conference. So he has so much free content too. Just Google him, and I'm sure you'll find some good stuff. Okay, so day two. Day two was great. So day two. On day two, day two was great, honestly. I've never heard of this guy, Anthony Vincino, until Raise Masters, but I'm going to start following him, and I highly recommend you guys do too, especially if you're looking to raise capital. His presentation was all about telling your story on LinkedIn. I haven't found him on social media or his LinkedIn, but I'm going to look at it, take notes, because there are so many nuggets on there. And honestly, LinkedIn is one of those platforms that I haven't leveraged at all and need to start looking at. So if you're looking to raise money, definitely check him out. And then we had Tom Bilyeu. He is the founder of Quest Nutrition or something like that, or was an owner of Quest, the candy bars, and had another tech company, and now does mindset stuff. His talk was really, really good as well. Wasn't familiar with him before, but he broke down mindset and how we view the world in a way that I've never heard before, and it was pretty powerful. So, Tom, love you guy. His outfit threw me off a little bit, but outside of that, dude was dope. And then Pace Morby was also on day two. And if you're not familiar with Pace Morby, he is the Sub2 creative finance guy and probably has the course with students or community that follows and looks up to him the most. I ran into a lot of Sub2 folks at Raisefest, and not one of them had anything bad to say about Pace Morby. His talk was really cool too. He was talking about crickets and cockroaches. Crickets being, loud until you get close, and cockroaches being those things that are just there. You can't kill a cockroach, right? So be a cockroach, don't be a cricket, and essentially get shit done, right? That's basically it. Like persistence pays off. If you stay the course, you will find some success. Now, on day three, I was late because I was tired, and I spent most of the day actually doing some networking and filming some content. So I missed most of the speakers and the panels that day. But I did hear that Jen Conkey was an absolute boss. So I wanted to drop her name here just to remind myself even to go and look up some of her content just to see what she's talking about, because I heard a lot of great things about her. So that's really, really, really high level, conference, and a couple of the speakers that really stood out to me. There's lots of great networking, and they also did lunch every single day, which was awesome, right? Like we didn't have to worry about leaving the hotel or, waiting in lines, because the way they did their lunch, it was so efficient and it was actually really good. So, I would probably give this conference an 8 out of 10. Thinking about going back next year. I do wish they had a little bit more of diversity in the speaking lineup. There wasn't a lot of people that looked like me up there on that stage, and I think there's a lot of cool people that they could have brought in. I mean, even looking at this, inside of their brochure, their main picture that has all these folks on it. It's just, the boys club. So Hunter, if you're listening to this, let's get some a little bit more color up there, more perspectives. I think it would help a lot of people actually hearing how, or hearing about the struggles of raising money from somebody who may not look like them or have a similar background of them. All right, so to wrap this up, right? Get you a group like the Summit ASAP. Align, find your tribe, and go get shit done. Look up Bob Fraser and Neil Bawa for all the data. Look up Anthony Vancino for telling your story. Look up Tom Bilyeu for the mindset, and find Pace Morby because he's just a cool guy in general. And with that, if you want to see some of the content that I filmed there, I'll be dropping it all across my Instagram and Facebook page. So follow me there, Trae Jacobs _ and Trae Jacobs on Facebook. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you. If we met, just know I'm rooting for you, and I cannot wait to see what you accomplish. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.